Shalom.
Brother Square Millstone Charlotte, come with another live lesson, live stream teaching through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai. We want to start by turning face to east, give all praises, glory, and honor to
Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Rakakudash.
Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect who pushing this word with all truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
Hey, so, today we're going to get into how, what we're seeing, take place throughout Israel right now. Right? We're watching all these camps prove themselves to not be men of the Lord ultimately. Right? We're seeing them, their deeds being made manifest in that they're only teaching for filthy lucre. They're only teaching for gain on this side. Right? Their focus isn't on feeding the sheep, feeding the flocks. Their focus is on forwarding themselves on this capacity, right? They're not thinking forward in a kingdom mind. They're thinking on an earth. So we can start with that Ezekiel 22 and 25.
This is Ezekiel chapter 22, verse 25. There is a conspiracy of her prophets in the midst thereof, like a roaring lion ravening the prey. They have devoured souls.
Right, this is what we're seeing, man. These men are devouring souls. They are actively going out and hunting down our people, right, and separating them from their power. Right, they're bringing them in and not even giving them a chance, to come correct them, man. Right, they're feeding them the wrong doctrine. They're giving them food that lacks that has no nutrient value, man. Right, everything they teach them outside of the fact that they're Israelites, right, is something that's not going to benefit them, man. And they're showing it through their actions as well. Because when you see your teachers moving in a certain way, you start to believe that's how you can operate as well, man. Right. So when the pride you see on these men, right, the non-discernment that you see upon them, right, them clinging on to the ways of this world, all these things are traits that disseminate throughout their congregation. Right. You can get that word conspiracy too.
I'll read it back from the beginning. This is Ezekiel 22 and 25. There is a conspiracy of her prophets in the midst thereof, like a roaring lion ravening the prey. They have devoured souls. They have taken the treasures and precious things. They have made her many widows in the midst thereof.
Right. They've taken the treasure and precious things, man. Right? They've taken what is a precious word, right, and given it to you for a price. And we've been taught to give this word freely, man. Right? We were given it freely, so freely we give. It's simple as that. But they want to make merchandise in the ministry, man. Right? They want to brag on how like we went into last night, on how much money, how many followers that they heaped upon themselves. Man.
Yep. This is the definition of the word conspiracy in the Free Dictionary. It says an agreement to perform together in a legal, wrongful, or subversive act and group of conspirators in the law, or it says the word conspiracy in law, it says an agreement between two or more persons to commit a crime or accomplish a legal purpose through a legal action.
That's not what we're saying taking place? All right, you got so-called self-proclaimed leaders, high priests, whatever they want to call themselves, knowingly and openly leading their people to destruction.
Right.
As it says, what was about subverting?
It says conspiracy is defined as an agreement to perform together in a legal, wrongful, or subversive act.
Yeah, legal, wrongful, or subversive act.
Subversive.
They're leading their people to destruction. And here it is, this treasure that we have been given, like Scripture tell you. All right, we have this treasure in earthen vessels. This wisdom, all right, is a precious thing that you're supposed to nurture and give out to our people so they become better. But yet you're using this as a means to destroy yourself, man.
I thought it was two of them. May I go into that word for subversion? This is the definition of subversive, because it said that you're conspiring to conduct a subversive act. The definition of subversive is intending or intended to subvert an established order, especially to undermine or overthrow an established government. So what we see happening right now is the order of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai being established in these last days, right? The Lord has given us pastors, as you read in Jeremiah 3:15, according to his heart, all right? Leaders that will show his people that this is the way to walk in it, right? An established order, established from Yahweh Shai. This is his ministry, okay? We are just sent out as vessels to proclaim that, all right? But you have guys that are trying to come up another way and establish their own sense of order for their ill gain, not understanding that that's going to be to their detriment along with those that follow them.
So Titus chapter 1 and verse 10. But there are many unruly and vain talkers and deceivers, especially they of the circumcision. And this is what we see taking place, man. These men are set up ultimately to deceive 2/3, right? Their Esau has them on the payroll, on the tape, in order to pull away as many Israelites as they can, man. And the Lord is going to allow 2/3 to fall into those traps, man. Right. It says, whose mouths must be stopped, who subvert whole houses, teaching things which they ought not, for filthy lucre's sake. Right. So they're turning whole families, right, whole seed lines away from Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, man. I'm gonna read the NLT. It says, for there are many rebellious people who engage in useless talk and deceive others. Part of that useless talk is what we see taking place on these various platforms, right? Whether it be people getting on what's the Adam 22 show, right? All these various
for an intended purpose as to how this ministry was to be forwarded. Here it is. You have the works of our elders and apostles on the highways and hedges being brought up almost a decade later of an interaction with Tucker Carlson. Yeah. Where was that at? Was that on a podcast platform? No, that was on the highways and hedges, as was instructed. And you're still seeing that moment being magnified in the earth, man. The Lord has set up this ministry to go out a specific way. You don't got to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah, right.
That's it.
Not through debates.
Right.
Not through these podcasts, not through these talk shows.
Matthew 22.
Right.
Go on the highways and byways, right?
It's Titus 1 and 10 in the NLT. But there are many rebellious people who engage in useless talk and deceive others. This is especially true of those who insist on circumcision for salvation. But this is, they teach you that the law is the only way that you're going to be saved, man. Right? They don't consider grace. They don't consider faith. What we're seeing is men who are ultimately putting their faith in their works, man. Right? They're not putting faith in the truth of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. It says they must be silenced. Right? And what we're about to see a great silencing take place.
Oh yeah, right.
The Lord is about to shut up the mouths of all these false prophets.
Right.
Ezekiel 14th chapter, Ezekiel 13th chapter. Yep. Right? All these false prophets, all their works are going to be proven to be worthless, man. Right? And be vain.
Right. Because when you read in Second Corinthians, the 10th chapter, all right, when you read about how we're literally breaking down the strongholds and bringing things into the submission of Mashiach. Hey, these false teachers, these false doctrines, hey, they're being broken down as well, man. Okay, because they're speaking contrary to the gospel. There's only one gospel. There's not multiple interpretations contrary to what this world has taught our people.
Absolutely.
That you can just believe however you want to believe. No, there's a way. All right, and that way is being bestowed unto you, whether you hear or not, whether you hear or forbear.
Because the problem with this world is they've been told that, their versions of the truth can pretty much, fill in for what the truth is.
Right.
There's only one truth.
Right.
And that truth is the word of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. That's it.
It reads, they must be silenced because they are turning whole families away from the truth by their false teaching, and they do it only for money. And that money goes into also the esteem in this society, man. Right? The power that comes with being some level of influence, right? it's not only the financial gain, it's what comes as a result of people pretty much worshiping you, man.
Right. What did Scarface say? First you get the money, then you get the power, then you get the woman. And that's these dudes' minds is just so warped to where all that they're seeking after is the gain of this world. Man, you gotta understand, when we come out on the highways and hedges, we're proclaiming the downfall of this system. Why would you fortify yourself in a system that you're proclaiming the downfall
Right.
of?
And that shows you're double-minded. Because here it is, you're prophesying the downfall of a kingdom that you want alliance with. That makes no sense. You know?
I have something right quick. Jeremiah chapter 23 and verse 14. Rock it up. I have seen also in the prophets of Jerusalem an horrible thing. They commit adultery and walk in lies.
And if that's not what we're seeing on display right now with IUIC, you know, Nate just exposed how, you know, adultery is going on amongst his congregation.
That's his fault.
And that's his fault, exactly, because this man allows women to be in the midst after he already went through the experience back at, you know, on One West, or how the other apostles told us how it got messy with women being in the midst. Man, that's why the scriptures detail about how the woman's supposed to learn the silence at home from her husband. Man.
That show you the apostles, they're dealing with the wisdom.
Yeah.
Because they warned brothers about having the church and the women in the midst of what would happen out of that.
Hey, we all understand that through women it comes confusion. You know her place is at home.
Right.
It says they commit adultery and walk in lies. They strengthen also the hand of evildoers, that none doth return from his wickedness. You know, and we just touching on the fact of these false prophets, how they're mingling themselves with this system, how they're mingling themselves with these Edomites, man. All right, they're getting into the pockets. They've sold out, right? And now here it is. The truth is bestowed unto our people because hey, the truth is out here, man. Right? Whether these guys they come up with these breakdowns, you know, commentaries, gospel. Hey, what you're doing knowingly is turning our people away from the right order that they need to fall under, and telling them, nah, just do that. You're keeping them in wickedness, as you say. It goes on to say, they are all of them unto me as Sodom, and the inhabitants thereof as Gomorrah. So as Parnawaf has said, it's going to be a great judgment that's going to befall these false prophets, man. All right, all of these false teachers that are giving these faulty breakdowns, all right, and knowingly misguiding our people to a way that's not profitable for them, man. Because we're in the last days. All of that shit is about, the truth is going to be shown. The word of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is faithful and true. Somebody got it. So we're going to see who's got it at the end of the day.
Yeah, we're at a point in time now to where we all should understand that everything that we're doing, all right, it's going to be a consequence that comes behind it. So you want to make sure that what you're doing is looked at as right in the eyes of the Heavenly Father and the Son, man. That's why what's that Psalms 2 and 11, I believe. Kiss the Son lest he be angry. All right, submit yourself under the obedience of Mashiach Yahushua, so that you be found in good case without hell breaking.
Right.
Right?
This is how you avoid these pitfalls. So, brother, you avoid these pitfalls by following under the order, man. Okay, and a lot of these guys are not following under the correct order, man. And that's always been Israel's problem, man. Jacob's disobedient, they're stiff-necked, and they're rebellious to the leadership that the Lord chooses to set up. But what always befalls those individuals? They meet their demise because they're going against the order from on high. See, that's what these guys, they try to come against the elders and the apostles and the teachers, the bishops, men that are seasoned in the faith, and they're trying to come with all these little tic-tac comments. But you're failing to understand that these men could quite possibly be the elect. They're teaching the gospel, and if they continue to endure through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua and the truth, those men are of the elect. So you don't understand the things that you're saying, the things that you're doing, and the Lord is continuing to allow these guys to get puffed up and continue in this madness so that they can ultimately meet their demise, man.
It's Luke chapter 6 and verse 26. Woe unto you when all men shall speak well of you, for so did their fathers to the false prophets. And that's what we're seeing taking place right now, right? You know, the men that you see people speaking highly of as these so-called grand teachers, right? You know, these are the same men back in that day that were spoken highly of, right? But they turned out to be false prophets, man. Right? The true prophets weren't liked. No, because the message that we speak is contrary to the message of this world, man. Right? We come and we're anti everything about Babylon the Great. So we're not going to be speaking things to help you forward yourself in this society, man.
Right. Our whole message is telling our people to depart. All right, arise ye and depart. All right, all throughout the teachings of Yahweh Shai, all about detaching from this world. Because we're not up for it. If we're up the elect, Lord willing, man, the scripture telling we were called out the world. All right. So why would you be pushing a pro, Babylonian message, man?
Right.
Which is what these niggas are doing.
Right. That's not the mindset that we need to be preparing our people for, man.
Right.
Right? The scriptures highlight that.
Scriptures literally say, repent ye, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand.
Right.
What does that mean? That means you turn back to the Lord and put off the ways of this world, because as we went to the lesson before we got out here, all right, this world belongs to Satan. So why the hell would you want to fool yourself in a demonic, satanic ass world, man?
Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 6. Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul.
Flee out of the midst of Babylon, man. All right? And it says deliver every man his soul. When it says flee out of Babylon, that's not physically talking about taking your black or brown ass and getting on a plane or boat and going to another country. No. It means spiritually. Detach your mind from this way of living.
Right.
All right? Come back to the ways that Yahweh Shem Yahushua has originally taught us how to live, man.
Yep. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of Yahweh's vengeance.
Right, because we understand the Lord is about to come down with great wrath. So to protect yourself against the sword the Lord is about to bring, you want to make sure that you're abiding under the shadow of Yahweh Shai, man, and his instruction, man. Because all those that are outside that house, all right, you open picking whatever form of judgment the Lord has waiting for your ass.
Right. Hey, whenever you come into somebody's house, it's what? House rule.
Exactly.
You under their house, you under their roof. Now you gotta abide by their rules, their set of orders, as to be able to remain inside.
But that's the problem with Jake though. Jake and that Dave Chappelle, Rick James spirit, nigga, fuck your count shit. Nah, nigga, you gotta abide under the order that the Lord told you what to do, man.
Exactly. It says, for this is the time of Yahweh's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense.
If you aren't under the Lord's, if you ain't covered by his blood, you're gonna see the full brunt of that sword, man.
Right.
So what's that?
That's it. This is back in Ezekiel 22 and 25 in the NLT. It says, your princes plot conspiracy just as lions stalk their prey. They devour innocent people, seizing treasures and extorting wealth.
Right, but they extort the body, man. This is what we're seeing is a great extortion take place with men who claim to be righteous men. Right, we're seeing them, heap these riches unto themselves, right, and forsaking teaching the body the true word, man. Right, giving them that true nourishment. That instead they rather, as we read in Malachi, I believe it is, it talks about how they flay the skin from them, man. Right, they're treating them as a commodity to be sold. Man.
Yeah, the truth is a come up for a lot of these guys, man.
Yeah.
It's a hustle, like Elder Pastor Hart said, man. 'Cause, hey, a lot of these niggas done figured out, hey, all I gotta do is give me a garment, go grab a Bible, teach the scriptures, and then shit, I can make some money.
Yeah, and that's the problem, because they don't look at our people as that, our people. They look at Jake as a come up, as a customer. All right, so all I gotta do is just package this message up real nice, and I'm gonna make some money off of it. That's never how my shit taught us on how to do these words.
Have a good gimmick.
Yeah. It's more to life than just making money, man. That's the problem, bro. You so enamored by the bag that you don't care how that makes you look or what that makes you do, man. That's why the scripture says, for the love of money is the root of all evil, man.
They really think they're missing out on something on this side, right? They see people, excelling in wickedness, right? So they consider themselves, why don't I try to excel in the ministry, man? But in excelling in the ministry is growing in the spirit, not growing in your riches, right?
Can I add to that point you just made? Right? Excelling in the ministry is growing in the spirit. How do you grow in the spirit? This is 2nd Ezra chapter 13 and verse 55. Matter of fact, I'll start at verse 54. For thou hast forsaken thine own way, and applied thy diligence unto my law, and sought it. Okay? And what is the law tied to? Order, man. Obedience. Thy life hast thou ordered in wisdom, and hast called understanding thy mother. And therefore have I showed thee the treasures of the highest. After other 3 days I will speak other things unto thee, and declare unto thee mighty and wondrous things. So Ezra, as he was receiving the spiritual increase, it was tied to his obedience, man. Okay? There's a lot of like
God just said, just like Abraham.
exactly.
He was obedient. He did what he was told.
And look what he gained. Abraham, now you went to Isaac and to Jacob, and now there's a blessing that's bestowed into a peculiar treasure, a nation of people, tied to obedience, man.
The scriptures tell us in a man's integrity, his seed shall be blessed. Right? So that's what you're seeing taking place is men who hope to maintain their integrity through the spirit of power beyond about so that our seed lines can be blessed for eternity. Right? You know, these men are trying to bless themselves. Right? They're not concerned with the future of the nation. You know?
The book of Psalms chapter 41, verse 12. It says, and as for me, thou upholdest me in my integrity, and settest me before thy face forever. All right, this was King David. But this is what we all hope to have in our shall keep us in. In our integrity set when we look down upon from the Lord, all right, we're found acceptable. Now Ezekiel 22 and 25 in the bottom part of this verse, it says they make many widows in the land.
Right, because it's going to be whole. We may have mentioned that earlier. Whole family lines, whole seed lines are about to be put to death as a result of what these men are teaching. Right, and that's what they're not letting you know. They're not letting you know that your life is on the line for believing in these false doctrines. Right? No, if you brother can get that in Ezekiel 14 and 9. Because we're about to see the result of the false prophets, right? Prophecy is taking place at all-time rates right now, and it's only going to intensify. So as we see these things taking place, you're going to be able to get the true answers from the men of the Lord, and when you go to seek answers from these men, they won't have anything for you, man, because they've been prophesying vain visions, man.
And scripture say, I don't know if y'all brought it out, Michael, about how it talks about how the sun is going to go down upon the false prophets. You get that? Michael, the 3rd chapter. How the Lord's going to cover the lips. He's going to bring darkness upon it.
Chapter 3. It says, thus saith the Lord concerning the prophets that make my people err, that bite with their teeth and cry, peace, and that he putteth, and he that putteth not into their mouth.
Man, they bite their teeth and cry peace, and the Lord didn't put that in their mouths, man. Because you're a bullshit artist, man. Right? Go ahead.
They even prepare war against him.
Right, so you prepare war, you causing your congregation. That's serious shit, man.
Yeah.
You causing your own congregation to prepare war against the Heavenly Father and Son.
Right. You don't understand that when you're rebellious, that's literally you declaring war against the Lord.
Right.
We're going to that word that talks about declaring war against the established order.
See?
So the order that's being established right through Yahweh Shai is what these men are ultimately bucking up against. Man.
Yeah, and when you breaking the scriptures down wrong, you just making shit up. You causing the Lord to be a liar because he didn't say that. Right?
I got a quick one. This is 1 Samuel 15 and 23. It says, for rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry, because thou hast rejected the word of the Lord, yet also rejected thee from being king. Which pretty much went to King Saul. You know, he was removed from being king of both Yasha'Allah and Israel.
Right, and then to add to that as well, because when you look at the offenses of being rebellious and stubborn, the things that was compared to are offenses that lead to death. So that shows you how the Lord, his view on that is. Right?
Yeah.
That's a serious offense.
Yeah, that's why it's so imperative that when you you are teaching the scriptures, that you're rightly dividing the word of truth, man. The apostles always speak on that, man. Make sure you know what the hell you're talking about, man. Don't be winging it because you're causing the Lord to be a liar, man, and that could bring destruction on your ass, man. The Lord don't play about his words, man. You're talking about the Father in heaven, man. All right, through his only begotten Son, man. You niggas is tripping, man. You got
This is Micah chapter 3, verse 6. Therefore night shall be unto you, that ye shall not have a vision, and it shall be dark unto you, and ye shall not divine, and the sun shall go down over the prophets.
Yeah, the sun, as you win, if the sun goes back to wisdom, it said the sun shall go down upon the prophets, these false prophets, man, because you're not going to, pretty much, when these things hit, as we've always been talking about, you know, the chip, all right, Jacob's trouble, all right, the famines, all these things is getting ready to come to America. You false prophets ain't going to have nothing to say, man, because you made everything a goddamn Israelite party. You made it solely about getting the bag, making the come up, you know, being the top dude, whatever it is, whatever, incites your thirst, right? Whatever sound good, man.
That's really where it's at now, because a lot of the outlandish shit that you niggas got coming out y'all mouth, it just sounds good to y'all, but when you really dissect what you're saying, bro, that shit is stupid. You got the simple among our people that eat every word and come out these men's mouth like they the most high, really.
Yeah, because it's wicked, but these jets, they know how to make money off our people's simplicity. Hey, you see it in the churches. Hey, those people, niggas in churches are simple as all hell, man. And them pastors, they just make money off Jake's simplicity, man. It's the same thing within the body and the circumcision, man.
They get some way with words. Come to find out, a lot of these pastors, they were pimps. And that's why we call them poverty pimps. But you have made mention of, Paragon had said that, about, you understand how powerful the scripture is, you can pretty much use these to make people money. However you told me to. That's where it's at with it, because just like in the book of Eli, when they showed you how the Edomite said at the end of the movie when talking about the Bible, this book has power. So if used in the wrong hands, all right, and you can see how destructive it can be, man. So now, it says the sun shall go down over the prophets, and the day shall be dark over them. Then shall the seers be ashamed, and the diviners confounded. Yea, they shall all cover their lips, for there is no answer of God.
Yeah, they shall all cover them. They shall all cover their lips. It said the seers shall be ashamed and confounded, talking about you false prophets, right? Because you ain't gonna have an answer for the people when these things hit, right? You made mockery of the chip. You said it was this. You said it was that. So when it's pumped, when it's pushed, and there's no more dollar, right? What you gonna tell the people? Right? You're gonna be greatly ashamed. You're gonna be looking like a damn fool in that day, man. And a lot of your congregation gonna be seeking to put you to death. Right? Because they believed you, man. They followed you blindly, man.
These are people lives playing with, bro. This is not no small matter. This is why we're so fervent on getting on you people, man. I seen some comment, on the video where IUIC was getting exposed for adultery, and they left a comment talking about why y'all always making videos getting on Nate and what he's doing. Why don't y'all do edifying videos about helping the flock? Like, bro, that is edifying, bro. Because it's a warning.
And nigga, you weren't watching the videos his brother's been putting out? Like that's what I said, they'll say shit about when we do videos like that, but they just don't watch all the other videos that's going out. Right? That's why we said, the hell with you 2/3 niggas, man. Right? You always got something to say. A lot of you niggas pop up on the comment board, no works, no videos, no nothing, man. Right? But you try to tell us how to teach the scriptures or what we should be talking about.
A lot of these niggas want to come to Israelite videos with a comfort. Right? They don't watch the edifying stuff.
Disingenuous.
Right.
I'm gonna read some commentary real quick. Micah 3:5 in the commentary reads, Micah returned to a theme first mentioned in Micah 2:11, speaking of the false prophets who brought hollow comfort and pretended to bring peace to the Most High's people. And that's what we're seeing take place right now. These men are promoting peace in a time where we're seeing the world degrade at faster and faster rates, man. We we can feel that flood coming, man. We can feel Esau about to bear down. We can see that persecution around the corner, man. We see the MOTB coming. You know, this is what we're seeing take place. But this is not a peaceful time. You know, these men playing around to tell the people that they're going to be able to get through these things with ease and not preparing themselves for the trials that they're about to face, man. That's it.
Just to answer your point, you guys didn't mention that. Jeremiah 23:16. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, hearken not unto the words of the prophets that prophesy unto you. They make you vain. They speak a vision of their own heart and not of the mouth of Yahweh. They say still unto them that despise me, Yahweh hath said, ye shall have peace. And they say unto every one that walketh after the imagination of his own heart, no evil shall come unto you, upon you. Okay, so this is exactly what we see happening with these false prophets, as the brother's going into the commentary, you know?
God said, the sun shall go down on the prophets. Through Micah, the Most High announced that he would bring the false prophets into complete confusion and disrepute, going into removing that reputation, removing their status, right? Removing that esteem that they've built themselves upon. Right. It says, and they will have no answer from the Most High, and therefore they shall be ashamed. So this is what we're going to see, man, because they won't have the answers ultimately. Right? They've built a whole reputation on lying to the people, and once it gets found out, as the elder may mention, man, these congregations are about to turn on these men, man. Right. You know, and a lot of them are going to get put to death, man. Whether it be these Christian pastors, whether it be these false Israelite leaders, man.
Hey, you know what's heavy that you say that? There's a lot of Christian pastors getting attacked on camera. Right. It's a lot. Yeah, getting guns put on, and niggas running up down to the podium, beating them up and shit. Like, this is happening a lot now, man.
Like that, flash
Oh.
He's got arrested. Yeah, Bishop Whitehead, he just got indicted. That nigga about to go do time.
Is that the guy in New York? Yeah.
The one that had the closet full of all the suits and shit. Challenged somebody to a boxing match. He got judgment just like all you other pastors get judgment.
This is Ezekiel chapter 14 and verse 9. It says, and if the prophet be deceived when he hath spoken a thing, I, the Lord, have deceived that prophet.
Right. So the Lord is allowing these men, right, to ultimately sift out 2/3. Right. He's using them as a tool, just as he's using Esau as a tool. Right. And he's got Esau, put these men in their pockets, man. Right. And these men feel like there's some way they're going to be able to escape judgment. But like we're reading, it's all the will of Yahweh Shemel Shai, man.
And I will stretch out my hand upon him, and I will destroy him from the midst of my people Israel. And they shall bear the punishment of their iniquity. The punishment of the prophet shall be even as the punishment of him that seeketh unto him.
Right, so that's why it's more and more important for you to hearken unto these messages, you believers out there, man. Right? To separate yourself from these false prophets, to pull away from all these lies and false doctrines, man. Because you're going to fall into the same judgment as these men do, man. Right? And a lot of your eyes have been blinded to see that, man. Because ultimately, that's your lot. But those of you who can hear these messages and hearken to these words, just understand that you walking out into like Martin Luther King said, you walking into a house that's already on fire, man. Yeah, exactly.
What's up, peace, brother?
Listen, man.
Hey, Shalom.
This is Ezekiel chapter 22 and verse 26. Her priests have violated my law and have profaned my holy things. They have put no difference between the holy and profane.
And that's what we're seeing taking place right now. Men who want to mingle the world with the truth, right? Men who can't seem to separate themselves from these youthful lusts, right? The truth is all you need, man, right? The scriptures speak for themselves. You don't need to be trying to mix things in, because then that's when confusion starts to be brought out, man. That's why we see people with all these questions, because they're trying to compare the scriptures to things in the world and things in the world to the scriptures, and it's not going to measure up, man.
Neither have they shewed the difference between the unclean and the clean, and have hid their eyes from my Sabbaths, and I am profane among them. Ezekiel 22 and 26, in the latter it says, Neither have they shewed the difference between the unclean and the clean, and have hid their eyes from my Sabbaths, and I am profane among them.
Right, so these men profane Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. They show the lack of respect, the lack of fear, right, for the Lord through their actions, man. Right, we're seeing on a daily basis, these things take place in the congregations, man. And that's why, as we continue to go into, these men are going to receive a horrific judgment, and you people out there who are following them need to take heed, man.
These leaders are not putting up a proper sacrifice. It is a terrible sacrifice, and the Lord isn't going to accept it.
They're teaching you how to do the proper sacrifice. They're moving. Like that's in Jude, just like Cain.
So this is the proverb that talks about teaching men to be
If I can say it, a chief way to do that as well is like they're teaching like false names. They give a false name and gives a false image,
Yeah, and I'm just saying, like, out of all the leaders, out of all the leadership amongst Israel, who's playing the role as the false prophet? Who's playing the role as the spy, the hierarchy, the agent? Right? You got to be able to see that.
Yeah, the scripture, it warns you. It says in the last days, many false prophets shall rise. So who's fulfilling that role?
Yeah. Everybody's not true prophets. Right? Just because you got a garment and teach the scripture don't mean that you're a true prophet of the Lord, man. So you got to be able to have the discernment, man.
I got a quick precept if I may. This is Proverbs chapter 13 and verse 17. It says, a wicked messenger falleth into mischief, but a faithful ambassador is health. Okay? And what do we see? We see people that are claiming to be ambassadors, representatives of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, right? Ambassadors unto our people to guide them to life, but they're actually leading them into mischief. They're leading them in odds with Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, but it says, but a faithful ambassador is help, right? Because with us being able to receive this word, being vessels to preach the gospel of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, we're actually healing our people, okay? Restoring them to their health, restoring them to their heritage. Okay? Now I'm going to read this in the NLT. It says, an unreliable messenger stumbles into trouble. And those that follow that message, trust and believe, you will be a part of those troubles that are going to come upon you, man. Because you took heed to the wrong report. Okay? The true watchmen have been given the report from on high of the things to look for in the last days. So if you want to take heed to the improper report, hey, that's going to be to your detriment. It says, but a reliable messenger brings healing. Okay? And this pilgrimage is the path to healing, man. But it's a particular trait. It's a way that you have to go through that, man. And that is in sincerity and truth. Truth, man.
Oh, yeah. This is Jude, chapter 1, verse 10. It says, but these speak evil of those things which they know not. But what they know naturally as brute beasts, and those things they corrupt themselves, because that's what the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua has done with us, man. All right, it has civilized us and pretty much, brought back that wisdom for us to operate under. But when you are outside of that wisdom, the Lord compares you to a beast, like the heathen. The heathen are known as beasts because they don't have any instructions or orders. We have been given that through the instructions of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. So it says, woe unto them, for they have gone in the way of Cain. And as you know, when you read the story of Cain was like one of the first stories of rebellion, because Cain gave a wicked sacrifice, but he knew on how to provide a righteous sacrifice. And then got mad when the Most High rejected him.
Yeah, just like how these false prophets, they know better.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing.
Exactly. And ran greedily after the error of Balaam from reward, and perished in the gainsaying of Korah, which, going back to Korah, which all, they rebelled against the leadership at the time of Moses. That's the same thing we're seeing taking place right now. With all these false leaders are bucked up against the elders and the apostles.
And what people don't talk about with that story is that the people who followed them also got put to death, man. Right? So both the leaders and the congregation were judged accordingly, man.
Right. Just as you had with the false prophets of Baal, with Elijah. When baiting them, like, where's your God at? And then he ended up, setting fire down and killing all of them. Serious business, man. This is what I like to understand earlier. Hey, the obedience of Yahweh Shai is what's going to save your life, man.
That's right. Back to Ezekiel chapter 22 and verse 27. Her princes in the midst thereof are the wolves ravening the prey, to shed blood and to destroy souls, to get dishonest gain.
This is what they've been set up to do, man. Right? They're like wolves on the prowl, man, on the hunt. Right? Moving in packs. Right? Hunting down, unsuspecting Israelites. Right? And they're being led by Esau Edom, man. He's directing them in how to move. Right?
And these niggas is just coming up with anything. Like, you got big fat nigga out in Cali, called self-proclaimed KD, openly telling you that you ain't gotta have no type of restriction on your diet. You can eat shrimp, crab, pool, lobster. You got chief priest, Uber Crip, Al-Azhar. These niggas just, he all over the place. All these niggas is just out here doing whatever, saying whatever, man. People just falling right behind.
Right. That's why it says they to shed blood and destroy souls, man. Because they're leading you to death, right? They're destroying your opportunity at salvation. They're teaching you ways that can only put you in a position to receive judgment from Yahweh Shai.
This is Acts chapter 5 and verse 28. Saying, did not we straightly command you that ye should not teach in this name? And behold, you have filled Jerusalem with your doctrine.
Ooh, that's Nate. He said, I scorn when I hear the name of, I don't want to say what he said, but he said that, man.
Right. And it says, and intend to bring this man's blood upon us. Right? And I wanted to get this definition for the word doctrine in the Free Dictionary. It says, a principle or body of principles presented for acceptance or belief as by a religious group, a rule or principle of law, especially when established by precedent, a statement of official government policy. Okay? So as we know, the government is resting upon whose shoulders? Yahweh Shai. Okay? So when we teach this word, these people, they're trying to say, look, we don't want you to be able to teach the truth in the scriptures because that's taking away their power. It's taking away from their ability to thrive in this system, man. As we see the spirit of how these guys are moving in these last days, man.
And these are the official policies of the Heavenly Father and His Son, man. Right? Jake is quick to follow after Esau, man. Right? Esau, you don't get no buck up from Jake out here, man. But as soon as you try to establish order through righteousness, that's when Jake starts to kick against the pricks, the scriptures tell us, man.
Ezekiel 22 and 27. It says, your leaders are like wolves that tear apart their victims. They actually destroy people's lives for money.
That's what we're seeing take place. Right? People's lives, people's livelihoods, right? People's opportunity at salvation being destroyed for filthy lucre's sake, man. Right? For these weak ass Fed notes, man. And ultimately for these TV implants, man. Because we know these men are compromised enough to where they might eventually tell their congregations to start taking this thing, man.
Right. We're gonna get in advance, y'all.
General Yohana literally said that. We gotta eat, right? So look, their mentality is already training their congregation to go ahead and do it.
Right. Niggas gonna get a big ass tax write-off. Right. Telling the people to go ahead and take that shit.
Hey, they said wisdom. Didn't they say they're using wisdom is cowardly? So the mindset of these leaders, man, it's completely setting Jacob to have the wrong mind going into these trying times.
They're not teaching the Lord, man.
Yep.
They're not teaching fear. They're not teaching faith. Right? They're not teaching grace. They're not teaching anything, man. All they do is they're just teaching you how to forward yourself in this world, man. How to get over on people, right? How to use the scriptures maliciously for your own financial gain, man.
Yeah, and it's spiritual because the apostles, they would, give their stories about things that happened in the past. And they would talk about how certain men, certain leaders were approached by Esau back in the day. And it makes sense okay, but they're teaching now. So the apostles had to been on board, man. So, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, hey, these guys are about to pay for it, man. You know? Nothing new under the sun, man. You know?
Ezekiel 22 and 28. And her prophets have daubed them with untempered mortar,
Right.
seeing vanity and divining lies unto them, saying, Thus saith the Lord power, when the Lord hath not spoken.
So they're daubing with what? That untempered mortar, man. That worthless foundation. If a brother could get that Ezekiel 13.
Ezekiel 13.
Read the commentary.
Okay.
Because we're gonna go into that untempered mortar, man. That weak foundation that these men build these lies upon, man.
If your foundation is not Yahweh Hashem Shai,
Oh, tell
it's going to be destroyed. That's just what it is. Right?
Yes. This is the commentary. You want me to read it? Okay. This is Ezekiel.
It's like the association.
Okay, Ezekiel chapter 13 and verse 1. And the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy against the prophets of Israel that prophesy, and say thou unto them that prophesy out of their own hearts, Hear ye the word of Yahweh. Thus saith Yahweh power, Woe unto the foolish prophets that follow their own spirit and have seen nothing. O Israel, thy prophets are like the foxes in the desert.
Right, so there's slide, man. Right, slide, slippery, slimy niggas, man. This is what we're seeing. These men are trained, well trained, right, into these deception tactics, man, and how to overcome, the psychological manipulation and things of that nature, man.
Right. Ye have not gone up into the gaps, neither made up the hedge for the house of Israel.
Right, they're not preparing, you for the time that we're about to face, man. They're not giving you the right guidance so that you can get on the right side of Yahweh Shai, so that you can have a place in that house, when that tempest eventually comes, man.
Right. That storm. It says, to stand in the battle in the day of Yahweh. They have seen vanity and lying divination, saying, Yahweh saith, and Yahweh hath not sent them.
Right, they're going out of their own way, right, to tell lies in the name of the Lord, man. Right, and now they're speaking in the name of Christ. They're speaking in the name of all these off names, man. Right, and then even worse, those who speak in the name of Yahweh Shai, but still teach wrong, false doctrines, man.
It says, and they have made others to hope that they would confirm the word.
Right, they have made others, man. That means they're leading, like we read earlier, they're leading people who are ignorant to the fact that these men are false prophets, man. Right, so they believe, they wholeheartedly believe that what they're hearing is true. But what the fact of the matter is, they're being led to the fire just as these men are being led to the fire.
Yep. Verse 7. Have you not seen a vain vision? And have you not spoken a lying divination? Whereas ye say, Yahweh saith, albeit I have not spoken.
Right, but the Lord isn't dealing with these men. Right, if he was, you can clearly see it. You can clearly see who the Spirit is dealing with and who the Spirit is not dealing with. Right? Because you see, one side is excelling in spiritual matters, man. The other side can only excel in carnal matters, man.
Like you false prophets are the ones that's diminishing.
Yep.
Right? So you're blinded, like we talked about last night, you're blinded by the worldly, fame that you're getting right now, man. The little worldly clout that you're receiving. You think you're on top of shit, man. Hey, majority of Israel don't believe, man. Majority of these guys, these people that's following, hey, they faking the funk, man, at the end of the day. Right? 2/3 ain't gonna get it, man.
That's a tough pill to swallow for Jake, too, to understand that 2/3 is a lot of people, man. And the majority of people that you see are going to be of 2/3, man. Right? So a lot of these congregations are going to be 2/3 Israelites, man.
Right. Hey, because the scriptures speak about how in the last days we will discern between those that serve the Most High and they that do not. It's no way that you can be truly serving the Lord in sincerity and truth and not be able to discern or see like, damn, that ain't really making sense. Let me consider what this is. Why is it that this is not linking up with this precept? You're saying 2/3 is going to be over in a different land, and where the majority of Israel is going to be delivered in the last days. What are you guys talking about, man?
The point of the matter really is just, like you said, Jacob realized that the good majority of our people were created to be destroyed.
Yes.
The Lord's only dealing with a small number, a remnant.
Yep.
Right? Real quick. This is Ezekiel 11:16. Therefore say, thus says Yahweh Shai, although I have cast them far off among the heathen, and although I have scattered them among the countries, yet will I be to them as a little sanctuary in the country where they shall come. You know, so the Lord is believing, all right, his elect, you know, where people scattered at, it's not mostly going to be, majority of Israel, man. A lot of these damn niggas out here, man, they through. You know? So at the end of the day, our whole thought process is just to worry about the elect.
Not all of Israel ain't gonna make it on this side.
This is Ezekiel chapter 13 and verse 8. Therefore thus saith Yahweh power, because ye have spoken vanity and seen lies, therefore behold, I am against you, saith Yahweh.
All right, so as we may have mentioned, man, these men are declaring war against the Most High, right? So he's against them even more fervently, man. You know, so much so that he's allowing them to excel in this place, man. He's allowing them to build that pride up, just like he's allowing Esau's pride to be built up, right? You read in 2 Timothy 3:13, when you read the NLT, it tells you these men are prospering in this time, man. Right? The false prophet is to prosper, right, in a world of wickedness, man.
Job 12:16. And somebody get 2 Timothy 3:13 just to add on to what Brother said.
This is Job chapter 12 and verse 16. With him is strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are his.
Right? The deceived and the deceiver are his. But everybody belongs to Yahweh Shai, man. Right? He's orchestrating this whole plan. And in order to congregate 2/3 together, he had to get that to the false prophets, man. He had to allow these men to go and mislead the majority of Israelites, man.
Right. And he said the deceived and the deceiver are his. And the Lord can make you think, the Lord can have you thinking that you win it, but you really lose it. And that's the power of the Lord, man. You know, strong delusions, man.
Hey, like we had brought out in the lesson earlier, the demons have to be allowed to have access to you, right? The Lord is allowing these spirits access to these men, man, right? To plague their minds, to allow them to think these grandiose delusions, man, to think that they're teaching in truth and sincerity, man.
An amazing delusion is how you can get on the platform and belittle the name of your power, man. To make light of it, man. To deem the name of Yahweh Shai as insignificant, man. That's a very strong delusion, man.
And that's scriptural. Got the example. This is 1 Kings 22 and 19. And he said, hear thou therefore the word of the Lord. I saw the Lord sitting on his throne, and all the host of heaven standing by him on his right hand and on his left. And the Lord said, who shall persuade Ahab that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead? And one said on this matter, and another said on that matter. And there came forth a spirit and stood before the Lord and said, I will persuade him. And the Lord said unto him, wherewith? And he said, I will go forth, and I will be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. And he said, thou shalt persuade him, and prevail also, and go forth and do so. Now therefore the Lord, therefore behold, the Lord hath put a lying spirit in the mouth of all these thy prophets, and the Lord has spoken evil concerning thee.
Hey, the Lord is putting that lying spirit back in these men's mouths, man. The Lord is orchestrating this thing from top to bottom.
This is 2 Timothy 3 and 13. But evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. I'll read it again. It says, but evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. And that's essentially what we're seeing. You know, we're seeing different groups, you know, come out with the jackets that say cult leader. You know, we're seeing these groups pretty much have adultery committed in their groups. You know, because that we're in the time of the end. The Lord said that it pretty much will increase.
Right. But hey, as we just read in Job, right? The deceived and the deceiver are his. So these guys are falling into their proper lots in these last days, man. The Lord has it already scripted what the role of the false prophet would be, what the role of the wicked would be, what the role of the deceived would be. And we're seeing these men be manifest in these last days. Like you gotta really hear the shit that they're saying on these platforms, man. As Aquana said, belittling the name of your power is crazy.
Got this NLT, it says, but evil people and imposters will flourish, they will deceive others and will deceive themselves, and will themselves be deceived.
Right. Evil people and imposters. What are they impersonating, right? They're impersonating righteous men, man. They're impersonating prophets of the Lord, right? And like I said, they're flourishing right now. They got the $100 million, man. They're taking the trips to Turkey, right? They over here getting paid interviews and whatnot, man. They on the podcast. Right, they're heaping all these riches unto themselves, man. They're flourishing in their wickedness, man. They have the extremely large congregations, right? All this is the result of the false prophets, man.
Hey, you said the apostle, right? You look up this word apostle in the Edamon, it says a swindler, a cheat, a deceiver, or agent.
That's what the Ezekiel 13 goes into the Israel that prophets are like foxes in the desert. It's pretty much these false prophets are playing with being at a low estate. I got a quick one if I can. This is Proverbs 1:32. It says, for the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them. So they feel like they're winning right now, you know. But ultimately, the Lord got them in the trick bag, just like he got Esau in the trick bag, because they're going to be destroyed at the end.
Yeah, it's like that Kendrick Lamar line. It's like we're talking about Joe. It's like the Lord give me all this money to play a joke on me. And the answer is yes. You niggas is winning right now, all for your destruction. All that money you heap to yourself is going to be your downfall.
Hey, woe unto you that woe to them that are full. You shall hunger, man.
It's back in the book of Ezekiel, chapter 13 and verse 9. It says, and mine hand shall be upon the prophets that see vanity and that divine lies. They shall not be in this assembly of my people, neither shall they be neither shall they be written in the writing of the house of Israel.
Right, because these men ultimately aren't going to be of those first fruits, right? These men, like I said, his hand, meaning the Lord's power, right? Yahweh Shai is coming as the right hand of Yahweh of the Most High, right? So he's coming to destroy these men, man, for misleading the flock, right? For actively destroying the flock and knowingly doing so, for taking these bribes, for taking these bags from Esau, via their 501c3s and things of that nature, right?
Yep, those Masonic oaths, like Nate, man. Dude is definitely tied into that whole Masonic energy, man. The hand signs, the gestures, the things they're throwing up, the symbols, that they have in the videos and stuff like that, pictures, So they're absolutely compromised.
And it makes sense. He's not the only one. He's the one that's on purpose. But really, to be on in society, you gotta be a Mason.
Right.
So he's not the only one though, man. But I got something to ask you.
And that's why we say, hey, we just cut straight to the chase, man. Hey, a lot of you niggas is backed by Amalek. Right? You bought and paid for by Amalek. Because we know how I get down, man. Hey, they behind the scenes on everything, man.
They pulling every string that runs America. All right, this is Proverbs 6:12. A naughty person, a wicked man, walketh with a forward mouth. He winketh with his eyes. He speaketh with his feet. He teacheth with his fingers.
Yep.
Forwardness is in his heart. He deceiveth mischief continually.
Yep.
He soweth discord.
Yep. You throwing up them damn enchantments, them signs. I don't even want to throw them up. The triangle hands. What's it called? Vesica Pisces. All that, man. You look into that stuff, man.
The poses that they do when they take their pictures. And even a lot of their garments is Masonic, man.
Right.
With the little, the apron.
Yep.
The apron design with the compass.
Right.
So like I said, man, they're forward, man. That word forward goes into habitually disobedient, man. So they make it a habit to disobey the power that they're supposed to be serving.
Yep. Back in Ezekiel 13 and verse 9. And mine hand shall be upon the prophets that see vanity in that divine light.
Yeah, all that is. Man, we can't wait till the chip hit the scene, man. We can't wait, man. That's gonna be a game changer, man. We want to see what these guys gonna say.
And especially at that point, the prophet's gonna be off the scene.
Oh my goodness.
So now it's gonna be like you out there and you ass out. They shall not be in the assembly of my people, neither shall they be written in the writing of the house of Israel. Neither shall they enter into the land of Israel. And ye shall know that I am Yahweh power.
Right, so you're gonna be destroyed on this side, man. The Lord gonna leave you here to taste the missiles, man.
It's simple and plain, man. You're gonna have to be, reborn in the kingdom. You're not gonna have the privilege, of being able to see things get built up, right, and watching righteousness be established. Right, you're gonna have to be born into these things because you decided, which ultimately the Lord decided it for you, that you were gonna go off and lead people astray.
That's right.
And you're gonna bear that shame and contempt. I can tell you anything in Daniel. Daniel, the 12th chapter.
That's something that these niggas don't think about, bro. Having your head down for a period of time in the kingdom of heaven.
Right.
Because that shame of because you gotta think about that, man. When we're Lord willing, we on that first go round, we're in the kingdom, and you niggas are reborn, bro. You gonna have to think about how you was knowingly misleading your people to their destruction, man. That's gonna be a lot of shame that's gonna be weighing on your shoulders, bro.
Daniel chapter 12 and verse 2. And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt.
Yeah, so when 2/3 come back in the kingdom, they're gonna have some shame. They have their head down, man. Matter of fact, add on to that, Ezekiel 36 and verse 31.
This is the book of Ezekiel chapter 36 and verse 1.
The Lord's gonna cause you to remember what you did. You got it?
Also, thou son of man, prophesy unto the mountains of Israel, and say, Ye mountains of Israel, hear the word of Yahweh. Thus saith Yahweh power, because the enemy has said against you, Aha, even the ancient places.
31. Chapter 31.
Oh, you said Ezekiel 36 and 31.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Ezekiel 36 and 31. Then shall ye remember your own evil ways.
See, then you should remember your own evil ways. When is that going to happen? In the kingdom. You're 2/3 when you reborn. Go ahead.
And your doings that were not good, and shall loathe yourselves in your own sight
Yeah.
for your iniquities and for your abominations.
Yeah, you're going to love yourselves in your own sight for your iniquities and abominations, man. The Lord going to cause you to remember what you did.
Bro, that's not just this past life. It's all your past lives, bro.
Read down to 33.
Time. Verse 32, not for your sakes do I this, saith Yahweh power, be it known unto you. Be ashamed and confounded for your own ways, O house of Israel. Thus saith Yahweh power, in the day that I shall have cleansed you from all your iniquities, I will also cause you to dwell in the cities, and the waste shall be builded.
Say you shall be ashamed and confounded at your own ways, man. Jake can't fathom the amount of sorrow that's going to bring to them, man. Because like the elder and the brother said, man, you're gonna remember all your past lives, all the misdeeds that you had. These men coming back in the reincarnation as the same false prophets that they were in the past, man. Right, that's going to be a great shame unto them, man.
Full remembrance of your past lives, of your former deeds, and you're going to be in your correct mind. You're going to be looking at yourself like, nigga, what the fuck was you on? Like,
Sick.
yeah.
Mercy of the Lord, but that shame is going to eventually go away. But you don't want to have to deal with that. That's why it's good just go ahead and right your wrongs right now while you still have to deal with it.
Ezekiel chapter 13 and verse 10. Because they have seduced my people, saying peace, and there was no peace. And one built up a wall, and lo, others dabbed it with untempered mortar. Now, when you go into the commentary for Ezekiel 13 and 10, it's David Guzik. It says, you want me to just get straight to the untempered mortar? Or you want me to kind of break down? Okay. So what it says, they seduced my people. It says the message of the false prophets was attractive and even seductive. Their message was essentially to say peace, even when there was no peace. The message was filled with hope and inspiration, packed with optimism and confidence.
Yeah, it's an Israelite party, you know what I'm saying? Building the kingdom here, being comfortable here. You know? That's the energy, that's the spirit that's being pushed by these guys. Everything gonna be alright. Go ahead.
It says, jumping down.
Making agreements and alliances with Esau. Go ahead.
Jumping down, it says, one builds a wall and they plaster it with untempered mortar. The commentary here says their seductive message looked great on the outside, but it had no true strength. It was like a wall built with poor materials.
Yeah, all them gimmicks look sexy. All those gimmicks look, they're seducing, man. Oh man, I want to be a part of that. You know, you got the marching, you got the cadence and shit, right? Matching garments.
I can give me a wife.
Yeah, I can give me a wife, multiple wives. You know, don't be surprised you see the niggas start a Greek hot stepping and shit, high stepping. You know,
and y'all niggas do that shit, boy.
Don't be surprised.
They already got the stigmas for that with
You
their
know?
cadences.
Right,
Yeah, niggas be thinking they cute and shit.
right. I could rap. I could drop an album. Right. Remember, hey, these guys got record labels and
Bro,
shit.
I remember when I was up, when that Piff was still running, I was just looking up. Sakari, not Sakari, IUIC had multiple mixtapes. Sakari, remember, about my album?
Yeah.
Hey, if I may add, man, this is all the poor materials, right, that they're daubing these walls with, man. Right? Where you want to have a solid foundation, you know, they're building up a foundation of sandcastles and pillow forts, man. You know, they're not giving you anything solid, anything that can withstand the winds, the tempests, the storm that's to come, man.
That's what it goes on to say. It says, a stormy wind shall tear it down. It says,
Oh, my lady can teach. My woman can teach the scriptures.
that's how you know you're not reading the scriptures.
Man, any real man would not want that woman on the forefront.
There's children out there and shit. You on battlegrounds, you got your woman and children out there, man. It's like, anything can happen at any given day, man. Now you putting your kids and family in danger and shit. You guys don't be thinking, man.
You wouldn't take your family into the middle of a war grounds, man. Right? That's what this essentially is.
That's the same equivalence of how IUIC makes their congregation legally change their name to Ben Israel. Like, bro, your whole family is on the books to be a target now. That's not wise, bro.
Verse 11. Ezekiel 13 and 11. Say unto them which dab it with untempered mortar, that it shall fall. There shall be an overflowing shower. And ye, O great hailstones, shall fall. And a great, and a stormy wind shall rend it. Now in the commentary for it says a stormy wind shall rend it. It says Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai promised that a storm would come against this weakly built wall and it would knock it over. When the Babylonians did come and quickly overwhelm Jerusalem, then everyone would know how false the self-appointed prophets were, that their wall was built with terrible materials. Okay? So as we see, look, we're now in what? We're in Babylon the Great. We see the false prophets that are out there. They're trying to build up this untempered mortar. They're trying to build with material that is of no substance. And now we're seeing, as Zaquan has said, these prophecies, when they start to come to pass, you're going to have to give an account. But the account is going to be what? That you were wrong. It's already written, man. Commentary. You ain't got no life, you ain't got no friends.
He's a punk. Fuck that guy.
Let's see here. It says, to use the figures of buildings and walls, the problem with the false prophets was that their work was not inspected.
Read that again.
It says, to use the figures of buildings and walls. The problem It says, to use the figures of buildings and walls, the problem with the false prophets was that their work was not inspected before the great storm or test came. You know? And who's that? Who is the inspector? Exactly. Yahweh Shai, he's coming on site, he's the project manager, he's like, hold on, let me see this shit. I got the blueprint. Let me evaluate this.
That whole building.
He gonna condemn that whole shit. Like, ain't no way.
What's the name of the show?
Oh, Undercover Boss.
Undercover Boss. That's how Yahweh Shai coming. It's a thief of the night, undercover boss.
Yep.
Cause he gonna see how's it go in Revelation 22 that he coming to judge every man according to his work.
Yep.
All right, so he gonna see what you've done.
Yep.
He's coming to collect. Remember, it was in Luke 18, 19 in there about how he gave the talents, the money. Get that real quick.
Yeah, a lot of you niggas about to get hit with that failure, man. Because your as I said, your building wasn't tested, all right? Because we understand, we've seen the works of the apostles and them, and their labors have been tried and tested throughout the years, and they're still standing firm. All the shit that these niggas is coming with, they different doctrines is untested. And the shit that they have, perhaps, a lot of it has already been disproved.
Yep.
You got all these years Christianity been around. You got Israelite people still trying to make the case that the Gentiles are heathens. That's what they say. That's tired. And it's unsuccessful. Now that's just one of many examples.
This is Zephaniah 1 and 12. And it shall come to pass at that time, and I will search Jerusalem with candles, and punish the men that are settled on their leads, and say in their heart, the Lord will do no good, neither will he do evil.
Right. These false prophets giving this false report. Hey, the Lord is coming to check all of that shit, man. Right? He's coming to check how you've been trying to use his name and his reputation to push your own agenda.
Right. So it said that he's coming to pretty much check on them. Read it again about the show.
Zephaniah 1 and 12. It shall come to pass at that time, and it shall come to pass at that time that I will search Jerusalem with candles, and punish the men that are settled on their leads, and say in their heart, the Lord will do no good, neither will he do evil.
Right. We understand the candle on the book of Proverbs going into the spirit of a man. All right. And it says them that are settled on the leads, because when you read the prophecies, you read how Israel will be in the end times, they will be elect. The scripture talk about how the elect will be comfortable. No. Because we're supposed to be suffering for our Lord and Savior, how he suffered for his sacrifice. So that goes to show you that these niggas ain't in the right spirit.
You looking for that one in Luke?
11.
Luke 19. Hold on, man. We Luke 19 and yeah, you can start at 11. Yeah, that's it. Read down to 25.
So Luke 19 and verse 11, it reads, and as they heard these things, he added and spake a parable, because he was nigh to Jerusalem, and because they thought that the kingdom of the Most High should immediately appear. And he said, therefore, a certain nobleman went into a far country to receive for himself a kingdom and to return.
Right, that's talking about Yahweh Shai. He went back to the spiritual realm. Right, go ahead.
And he called his 10 servants, and delivered them 10 pounds, and said unto them, occupy till I come.
He told those servants to occupy till we come in to do the work, because that money or those pounds is tied to the knowledge, the money. Right? Go distribute the word. Go ahead.
But his citizens hated him, and sent a message after him, saying, we will not have this man to reign over us.
Right, that's the spirit of 2/3. Right? 2/3 of our people refuse to have Yahweh Shai to reign over them. That's why he told them, hey, those that be my enemies, bring them hither and slay them before me. Right? Go ahead.
And it came to pass that when he was returned, having received the kingdom, Then he commanded these servants to be called unto him,
Yep.
to whom he had given the money, that he might know how much every man had gained by trading.
That he might know how much every man had gained by trading. Meaning, what are we doing? We're out here expanding the Father's business.
Yep.
We're flipping the money. You know, gaining the interest. You know. Go ahead.
Then came the first saying, Lord, thy pound hath gained 10 pounds. And he said unto him, well, thou good servant, because thou hast been fruitful in a very little, have thou authority over 10 cities.
Right. So that particular brother, you know, maybe woke up 10 brothers, and it has the calculations in my scriptures here. It said he had $49.50 and turned it into $495. You know,
That's a flip.
that's a flip.
And the second came, saying, Lord, thy pound hath gained 5 pounds. And he said, likewise to him, be thou over 5 cities. And another came, saying, Lord, behold, here is thy pound, which I have kept laid up in a napkin.
Right. He kept his talent. He kept the money hidden in the napkin. Go ahead.
What did I give you this money for?
Exactly. He sat on it. He didn't do nothing with it. Right? You got guys playing with the knowledge, all that, man.
Yep.
You know? You got it, brother.
And another came, saying, Lord, behold, here is thy pound, which I have kept laid up in a napkin. For I feared thee, because thou art an austere man. Thou takest up that thou layest not down, and reapest that thou didst not sow.
So all of this false doctrine, all of this wickedness that these guys are showing is eventually going to be plucked up, man. It's going to be uprooted. You got it, bro. Go ahead.
And he said unto him, out of thy own mouth will I judge thee, thou wicked servant.
Read that again. Super cool. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So Luke chapter 19
That's the
and verse
first one I think I seen. That's crazy. Go ahead.
Banking capital.
So Luke 19 and 22. And he saith unto him, out of thy own mouth will I judge thee, thou wicked servant.
Yep.
Thou knewest that I was an austere man, taking up that I laid not down,
right.
and reaping that I did not sow.
Keep going.
Wherefore then gavest not thou my money into the bank, that my coming I might have required mine own with usury.
Yeah, you mismanaged the Lord's money. Right? You didn't gain the interest. You didn't do nothing. Right? So you're gonna be judged for that, man. Go ahead.
And he said unto them that stood by, take from him the pound, and give it to him that hath 10 pounds. And they said unto him, Lord, he hath 10 pounds. For I say unto you, that unto everyone which hath shall be given, and from him that hath not, even that he hath shall be taken away from him.
Right, so back to what we were saying, man. Hey, this is nothing to play with, man. All right? And we were given orders to expand the Father's ministry, man, to do what was right.
In season, out of season.
In season, out of season, man.
Niggas
Right.
talking about some the prophets is back in season, y'all. Bro, what?
So out of season.
Right.
There was never an off season.
Yeah.
Whereas those scriptures say be instant.
Guys be taking breaks, going on vacation. You know how these guys get down.
Like you said it last night, bro. You can just be so I'm not going on vacation. I got the money for it. Like Pastor Torrance said, you got all this money, you gotta spend it somewhere.
Why are they going to Turks and Caicos for Diddy? You know, that's all these things. You can go back to that commentary.
Back in the commentary for Ezekiel 13 and verse 11, it says, to use the figures of building and walls, the problem with the false prophets was that their work was not inspected before the great storm or test came. When the storm came and the wall fell, everyone knew the message was false.
Right, because, like I said, before the storm or test came, right, the men who teach the correct doctrine, we're being tested, man. Right? These people out here aren't being tested because they ultimately don't believe in the same things that we believe in, right? So they're not going to be tried. And once that ultimate test does manifest itself, they're going to fail, man.
Yep. It says the key was to do a proper inspection of the wall before the storm came.
And that's what we're going through right now. The proper inspection. You know, we're checking, make sure ain't no wires hanging out, right? The beams is all strong and sturdy and secure, right? So that we don't fail that inspection.
May I get something right quick? This is Acts chapter 17 and verse 10. It says, and the brethren immediately sent away Paul and Silas by night unto Berea, who coming thither went into the synagogue of the Jews. These were more noble than those in Thessalonica, in that they received the word with all readiness of mind, and searched the scriptures daily, whether those things were so. Therefore many of them believed, also of honorable women which were Greeks, and of men not a few. So the church of Berea being highlighted here, hey, they were receptive to the truth, right? But they did their due diligence to search the things that they were learning of, right? Which made them what? It says, and therefore many of them believed. So their belief was fortified because they did their due diligence. They searched the scriptures. You know, which a lot of these Israelites in these various camps, they don't do. They just go with the flow. Whatever monkey see, monkey do type shit.
You go into that inspection. What's being inspected is the doctrine, man.
Yeah.
Right? Everything is getting picked apart and looked at closely, man. The scripture tells us it's scopeo, right? You know, in that, what's it, Romans 16 and 17.
Right.
You know, so it's everything is being looked at very closely, and what's wrong is being pushed to the forefront, you know, to show you what not to go after, and then what's right is being pushed ahead to show you where the truth is. Man.
You mentioned about the doctrine being under inspection. The video we just went into, you know, before we came out here, we had that general. He made mention about, you know, whatever doctrine that you believe in, make sure that you have, you know, full faith in it, because as dark as shit about to get, your faith about to be tested. You want to make sure that you have the correct doctrine that's going to lead you to life.
It goes on to say, the dabbing makes the wall look as strong as possible, but it cannot save it from collapsing before the overflowing shower of Yahweh Shai's judgment and the great hailstones of his wrath. As fall it will, and with force, because made of ill mortar, and they that stand up under it for shelter shall perish.
So you trusting in a house that failed its inspection, huh? Right? And it's about to go through the worst storm in history. And instead of getting out and going into a house that you see has been built on the right foundation, man. Every nut and bolt and screw has been looked at meticulously to make sure it was fit in the right place.
Right.
You know, and that house is secure. Instead of going into that house, you stay in this untempered mortar house. It's built up nice. It's got the facade as if it's going to be able to protect you. But in the time of trouble, it's ultimately going to collapse upon you.
You're renovating the condemned house.
And the walls made of style.
It's kind of like the house that Esau built nowadays, you know. Pretty much they getting their proof from Esau here. I got a quick precept if I can. It's Proverbs 24 and 27. It says, prepare thy work without and make it fit for thyself in the field, and afterwards build thine house. But you got to prepare the correct way. You know, when you go into that word prepare, it's kawan, and it says to be firm, be stable, be established. So you got to be established in that rock, you know, because the gods are going to be destroyed. It's going to be those that got that untempered water. Another one says, be directed aright, be fixed, which the scripture's also going to says, every man take heed that he built correctly, roughly paraphrasing, you know.
This is 1 Corinthians 3:9. For we are laborers together with Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Ye are Yahweh Hashem Yahushua's husbandry. Ye are Yahweh Hashem Yahushua's building. According to the grace of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, which is given unto me as a wise master builder, I have laid the foundation, and another buildeth thereon. So let every man take heed how he buildeth thereupon. You know, at the end of the day, you gotta know, you know, what your how you're being laid. All right, is your foundation sure? All right, if Yahweh Shai is going to say, yeah, like build it correctly. If Yahweh Shai is the correct foundation, you're supposed to build upon. For other foundation can no man lay that and that is laid, which is the Yahweh Shah, from Mashiach. So at the end of the day, like the brother was saying, all right, your doctrine, all right, has to be on point, man, because if not, all right, you're at risk of being destroyed.
Something you should care about. That's something that you should highly consider. Are you building correctly? Are you doing the right thing? Right?
This is why we continuously get on these other Israelite camps that go off. Not because of niggas hating on them. We don't give a damn about them calling. But spiritually, we know that there are sincere souls that are actually listening to you guys. So we point out the differences in the doctrine to show you the correct and the incorrect. You still choose to be around the incorrect, so be it. That's on you.
A little bit off in a building, you know, in the long run, it's going to lead to catastrophe, man. Right? You an inch off at the foundation. When you get to the top, you 10, 15 feet off, man. Right? So anything that's off in the doctrine has to be quailed out, you know, quickly, man. Or else when it's allowed to fester, that's when you see the things taking place that we have in the ministry today.
A little leaven leaveneth a whole lump.
Spreads.
Yep. This is Ezekiel chapter 13 and verse 12. Lo, when the wall is fallen, shall it not be said unto you, where is the dabbing wherewith ye have dabbed? Therefore thus saith Yahweh power, I will even rend it with a stormy wind and fury, in my fury. And there shall be an overflowing shower in my anger, and great hailstones in my fury to consume it.
So it's the Lord's will is to consume all of these false philosophies, all this false doctrine, right? All these false prophets, right? He's coming to destroy all of them. You know, and if you're not prepared, if you haven't been prepared in the spirit, then you're going to be right along with them, man.
Yep.
You know, that's why, like it said what? Where is that daubing which you have daubed? Man? Right. So the thing that you took pride in, what you put up, you know, as a great show of how great a man you are, how great a teacher you are. You know, that's going to prove to have been worthless, man. When you see the bits and pieces that these men's congregations get torn to.
Verse 14. So will I break down the wall that ye have dabbed with untempered mortar, and bring it down to the ground, so that the foundation thereof shall be discovered, and it shall fall, and ye shall be consumed in the midst thereof. And ye shall know that I am Yahweh.
Right, because everything at the end of the day is set forth to exalt the name of Yahweh Shah. Right, everything you see, all the destruction that you're about to witness, all the death and chaos, is all to exalt the name of Yahweh Shah, man. Yep. And the destruction of the false prophets is no different. So as we see these things taking place, we give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shah because we know it's His will that these things are happening, man. We don't, exactly, and we don't feel sorry for these niggas, man. Right? They've been given an ample enough warning, man. The Lord has offered them enough grace. Right? So once that opportunity of grace is gone, you know, so be it, man. It's the Lord's will at that, man.
Right.
You know, they tell somebody so many times, man, you gotta watch it.
Right. Because this is the spiritual ark that's being prepped right now. Right? As brothers have been highlighting through the spirit, being mindful of how you build. Right? Not trying to put up this untempered mortar. Right? When Noah was building the ark, he was given direct measurements. He was given a blueprint to follow specifically in order to preserve himself, his family, and the creatures that he had to bring on the ark. All right? And what these guys are doing in the time of this spiritual ark being built, they're not following the blueprint. So when all of this storm comes down, these trials, these tribulations, the hour of temptation, right, which is the trying of which is going to be a great time of testing, right? You're not going to have any type of any mindset to really be able to fortify yourself.
Yeah.
You're going to be out of it.
Hey, that's happy that you said that, because on a deeper level, Noah was given specific guidelines to build the ark to save his family, but also it was through Noah the line of the sons of God was preserved. See that? Because it went through Noah and then it went through Shem, and then so on and so forth. So if Noah was disobedient, the line would have got cut off.
If he had built the ark in the correct specifications, it started looking kind of wonky. He was like, let me put some paint over this,
Right.
throw some fringes on top of it, and then call it a day. No, they won't be able to notice.
Yeah, the Lord said do this, but I'm going to do it like that.
That's taking too much time.
See?
And on top of that, as an example, King Solomon was building a temple. He was given specific instructions on what to do. So he would have did his own thing. The temple when it came out, like how Yahweh wanted it to come out.
Obedience and instruction is pivotal, right? Following directions is crucial. You know, because your life depends on it.
Mind who you get those directions from. Scripture say when the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into a ditch, correct?
If you trying to get somewhere and I give you some bullshit directions, you gonna be fucking lost. You gonna be, you know. So it's like, come on, man.
You gonna go. That's what we be seeing all the time when we be teaching. Niggas be going.
Yeah.
One way, he going the opposite way.
Right. Crazy, man. You got it, brother.
It goes on to say, verse 14. So will I break down the wall that ye have dabbled on tempered mortar, and bring it down to the ground, so that the foundation thereof shall be discovered, and it shall fall, and ye shall be consumed in the midst thereof, and ye shall know that I am Yahweh. Thus will I accomplish my wrath upon the wall, and upon them that have dabbed it with untempered mortar, and will say unto you, the wall is no more, neither they that dabbed it.
Right. Because you're guilty of building up, these false ways, man. You're guilty of putting up a wicked sacrifice. You're guilty of leading the people astray. That's what all these things are akin to, man. Right? When you daub these things with untempered mortar, you're giving the people a false cover. You're giving your congregation a false sense of security. So when these times come, because we see them coming, man. It's not like it's a hidden thing. Esau can see it coming, right? He's telling you it's coming. Niggas in the world can see it.
And what? All right, the tower of the Lord, which is the name of the Lord, the strong tower.
That's right, brother.
All right, but at the end of the day, you are supposed to be spiritually building that tower to fortify your spirit in. And these niggas leaving all type of hopeless to Satan and these demons to go in and overthrow their faith.
It says, verse 16. To wit, the prophets of Israel which prophesied concerning Jerusalem, and which see visions of peace for her, and there is no peace, saith Yahweh.
There's no peace, man. Evils and only evil, man. If you're not part of the elect, then prepare to have the worst time of your life, man. I'm gonna read this in the commentary real quick. It's Ezekiel 13 and 15 in the David Gucci commentary reads, the Most High hated the work of the false prophets and promised to destroy it. The false prophets themselves will also be judged and destroyed. Right, so this is what we're seeing. All right, I'm gonna start a little bit. It says, the power of a storm is greater than anything man made. Even in the modern world, the Most High promised that a tremendous stormy wind of judgment would come to Jerusalem and Judah, and that the Most High himself would send it. So what we're seeing again is the will of the Lord being made manifest. Right? It says the Most High promised to break down the self-appointed prophets together with their man-made message. The fall of their weak wall would not only mean the loss of a structure, it would take many lives with it. Symbolically speaking, the wall would fall upon many people. So going back to that Ezekiel 14 and 9, right? The fate of the false prophet is the same as the fate of those who follow him. It says the essential message of Jeremiah and Ezekiel was that judgment was on the way, and they should accept it as the Most High's chastening and cleansing. The false prophets had visions of peace, leaving the Most High's people completely unprepared for the judgment that was on the way. So this is what we're seeing. Those who are being prepared through the Spirit and those who aren't. And that's the separation that's being made, man. That mark of delineation, the believers of Yahweh Shai and his word, and those who don't. Everybody else you see out here, these false camps, these Christians, whatever other denominations or religions, right? They all fall on the side of those who don't believe. So they're completely unprepared for the times to come, man. And Lord willing, we endure, we're going to be able to have that hedge of protection as that covering in these times of persecution and great turmoil, man.
Stick to the script. Like the Quran said, obedience, following the directions. The scriptures is a script. You want to play the right role in the film, stick to the script.
Right. And what happens? or like challenge direction or whatnot, you have somebody that's not going, they get booted off.
Booted the fuck out. Because everybody, the script is literally, it's got everybody's role. It's like you see the end credits of a film. The end credits are already there. You got the bug out, you got the 2/3, you got the elect. And then the elect, the scriptures is so beautiful, it gives you the details that you need to put on as the elect. It gives you the stories of our foreparents and their faults when they went off, to abstain from those things. It gives us the guides to see our foreparents when they were obedient, and we see their end. That's why the scriptures tell us in Job 8:8 to look to our fathers. Because we're looking at our foreparents and we're getting these accounts like we just read of Ezekiel. Like damn, the end result was your disobedience and your negligence to adhere to the way of the Lord puts your ass into pitfalls, man. And it's no different now.
Hey, so we pray that lesson was edifying to the spirit power of Yahweh Shah Shai. We want to close by facing the east and giving all praise, glory, and honor to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Mekakadash.
And double honors to the elders and apostles, the great millstone who rule well and teach well. And peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, pushing this word with all truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Shalom, shalom.
Hey, shalom.
Shalom.